All right, Virgo, you are up. Let's go ahead and get your card. This is for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we have the card of one-sided relationship. All right, Virgo. Well, I believe that this card is shining, a light on obviously imbalance in these connections. Obviously, if it's a one-sided relationship, whether it's you giving too much or receiving too little or feeling like things just aren't aligned, relationships thrive on mutual effort. And this card is asking you to reflect on whether those connections are serving your highest good. So let's go ahead and explore this. The card of one-sided relationship, how it's going to pertain to single potentials, existing relationships, and or ex-old flames. And let's go ahead and kick it off with single potentials. All right. So for my single Virgos, this particular card may be pointing to a situation where you have been investing time and energy into someone who hasn't been matching your effort. So maybe you've been doing all of the texting, the initiating of plans, or the holding on to hope that they'll finally give you the attention that you deserve. And I think it's just what it is. For example, you're talking to someone new, but they take, hours or days to respond to your text, even though you're always quick to respond to them. Or maybe you've been consistently showing up for them emotionally and they're not reciprocating. That is a really easy trap to fall into in the beginning, where you're, giving things of your time and energy because you are more practical. So naturally, you probably are just a little bit more stable. This person may not put that work in. I'm feeling here that, this relationship is starting out, or the potential of this relationship is starting out not necessarily being healthy. I think that the universe in this particular case with this card that your energy pulled down is asking you to step back and reassess. We know that a healthy relationship starts out with balance and equal give and take and equal reciprocity. So I'm feeling that now it's time for you to take your energy and time back, single potentials, because I feel, of course, you're way too valuable right now to pour into someone who isn't equally meeting you halfway. I'm going to tell you to focus on what you truly want right now and trust that the right person will value your effort. So I'm going to say it's time to maybe take a step back from this. And I'm feeling that, if you have not done it, maybe this was what you needed to give you the further confirmation that it's time to do it. Whatever your intuition has been telling you, this should be aligning with that. So it should serve as a confirmation for you to do so. I think I'm going to assign the Six of Pentacles to this because it talks about balance and reciprocity and equal giving and receiving. And a reminder for you to prioritize relationships that feel equal and fulfilling. As far as your numerology insight for this, I am going to go ahead. I think I'm going to give this a 2. Twos are talking about duality. They're talking about, balance and partnerships. But it's about partnerships and mutual energy. So that's going to carry you to seek connections that are grounded in reciprocity. Okay? And when we move on to existing relationships, I believe for you coupled Virgos, this card, of course, is definitely going back to that feeling of an imbalanced dynamic. One person or partner is carrying more of the emotional or practical weight than the other. The imbalance may not be intentional, but it can still create tension or feelings of burnout, because when we start out that way, that's how we end. And when, that's a very true statement. And when you constantly show up for a person, enabling them to be able to even do anything, or when they show you what they're capable of, you jump in and assist them, then in essence, you might as well be dating yourself, right? Or in a relationship with yourself. So I think that one person is always doing something. For example, one of you guys is always planning the dates, checking in on the other person. compromising, to keep the peace, even when there's conversations that need to be had, but not putting in the same effort. You know, maybe your partner feels like they're doing all the heavy lifting while you're more focused on other aspects of life, or vice versa. So again, just like I said in the single potentials, this card is about, really balancing the scales. And in an existing relationship, you're going to have open and honest conversations about just that, balancing those scales. Maybe you can lead with something like, I feel like I've been given a lot lately. I'd love for us to work together, blah, blah, blah. Something to, really start off stating that this is what you're doing, if you don't want to have an accusatory tone. But intuitively, I'm feeling like this is done inadvertently, or it's done because it's too easy. Whatever the situation is in, it doesn't feel like it's being done with malice, but you can take it as it resonates, okay? So I believe that this is about just that, and it feels that it happens inadvertently. It feels like it's happening without malice. Maybe one of you is more focused on one thing in the relationship, and the other is doing other things, just like it states. I don't think that this individual is in a position where he or she is like, I'm just going to do this to Virgo on purpose. It doesn't negate the fact that it's being done, but it should help your delivery. I do see growth and renewed energy in this relationship. I do. And I think that if you guys can definitely fix the imbalance and acknowledge that there is an imbalance and address it, and work together, this communication can go a long way. I do believe that this is fixable. I think that the tarot card for you would probably be justice. Both parties need to have that just, and both parties need to be acknowledged. Both parties need to be validated. I think that you guys need to continue to work together to create a partnership that feels just that balanced and supportive. And I think that this justice card will do, that justice. There's a double entendre. And also, I think I'm going to go back to my 6. That seems to be my go-to in these episodes, which represents harmony and collaboration. A lot of these energies is just that I'm noticing, Virgo, is just about a lack of balance, a lack of reciprocity. So 6 is probably going to be the highlight. Once I'm done, I'll pretty much do, a brief little synopsis to see if there was any other highlights that I noticed and insights that I noticed with these. But anyway, that's for that. We're going to go ahead and get into X's and old flame. So if you're reflecting on an X or an old flame, this card is suggesting that the relationship may have been unbalanced. And that's probably the reason why you walked away to begin with. I believe that it was a one-sided relationship, and that's the reason why you left. The dynamic was one-sided. Relationships can't sustain themselves. It takes two to tango. So imagine you're still thinking about an ex, who rarely showed up for you emotionally, even though you gave everything you could. Or maybe you're holding on to guilt because you feel like you didn't contribute enough in the relationship, or maybe you feel like you were being a little too hard on them. I think that you definitely did what you were supposed to do. I don't think that you should beat yourself up and feel guilty about this at all, Virgo. I feel like you walked away from the one-sided relationship because you were not getting what you needed, and you cannot sustain this relationship by yourself. So I feel that the universe is reminding you to release these feelings. It was unbalanced, which means that it wasn't meant to last in its current form. It was blew up, it was blown up, all of that, because it was not balanced. As I told an individual that I dealt with, we're not right because you're not right. And I feel like this is exactly what was going on. You can't, wish someone to do, well, you can wish them, but you can't wish them strong, is my point. You can't wish them strong. You can't wish these things onto them. They have to do these things themselves. So, of course, I'm going to grant you the tarot card of the 8 of Cups. Hopefully that embrace and embody the power of the Eight of Cups, which will assist you with walking away from what no longer serves you emotionally. Of course, it is mental as well. You need to trust that this release will bring the healing that you need. Also, I do see a more emotional freedom and a sense of empowerment coming towards you once you let go of this dynamic. I also feel that the right connection is coming in, one that feels mutually supportive, and it feels very, very good, and it's waiting for you. All right. And finally, your numerology insight. I think I'm not going to do a 6 here. I'm going to do a 9 because I really want this cycle to be completed and for you to let go, leave behind what's unbalanced, and embrace the fresh start ahead. Okay. And Virgo, this concludes the video. So the one-sided relationship card reminds us that love thrives on balance and mutual respect. So whether you're single or, in a relationship or reflecting on the past, you deserve a connection where your energy is met with the same care and effort. So if it resonated with you, drop it like it's hot in the comments. I love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Marvelous Tribe. And Virgo, I'm Marv, and I'm signing off, reminding you that your love is valuable. Your heart is wise, and you're full of harmonious possibilities. Stay blessed, stay marvelous, and I will see you in the next one.